Hi everyone, welcome to week 5. This week what's going to happen is we're going to continue building our scaffolding towards learning task 2, part A, the pitch for stakeholders. It may seem like a lot of weekly pieces that you're being asked to do, but hopefully that also alleviates the pressure of having one big learning task and instead splits that out over the course of these scaffolding steps. If you haven't looked ahead to the criteria for the pitch for LT2A, you're going to want to take a chance to do that because that really informs how each of these weeks are progressing towards that deliverable. So the pragmatics for this week is you've had a chance to ideate a great number of prototype ideas or hacks to be tested in your context. Some of you may have already started testing. I'd like you to be sure this week to select one of those promising hacks and give it a try. Remember that we're talking about something that can be really quick and really cheap, as they would say in design thinking, meaning we're not investing a great deal in a hack. If we spend a whole bunch of time trying to implement something, it's very different than a hack. The fact that you spend the time and energy to do it makes it less of a prototype and more of an implementation, and it gives us less chance to actually learn from action because we're committed to the thing that we designed. So really do limit yourself to something you can do in a single period with your students, or that doesn't take you a whole bunch of front-loaded time to develop and prepare for, nor does it take your users or stakeholders a great deal of time to do, but also thinking of one of your ideas that you think can really get you to better understand both the big idea and I wish that you're working towards. The point here is to do the project yourself. As a design-based leader, I really think that doing the project yourself is an important, critical step to both to understand what it is you're asking others to do, to understand what the big idea is that you're moving towards, and to create an exemplar for your stakeholders. And in this case, we're going to include it directly in our pitch. That kind of transitions into the second part of this week, which is developing a storyboard for your pitch that you will put together in the subsequent weeks. We are hoping here to plan through how your pitch may take shape. Then you may want to do this prior to implementing your hack so that you can be intentional about documenting it within your hack, or at least have planning them these side by side so that you have an idea of how you might document what you do in your hack to inform how you pitch to stakeholders. Why are we doing these pitches? For me, design work is really connected to story, and it's really critical to use story as a design-based leader. The main idea here is to engage our stakeholders in the process. It's to make sure that we're building alignment. I mentioned before that this kind of work can be perceived to be distributed to an extent that it's divergent and not doesn't have alignment, and can be considered something that brings fatigue or brings a lack of consistency within an organization. But story is an opportunity to not make everything strategically the same, but to bring everything under some common language and give everybody a sense of why we're doing this work and how it's connected. And story is a really natural way for humans to do that. Providing documentation and telling the stories of our design work also goes a great way towards giving us something tangible to reflect upon and to give us evidence to chronicle the journey that we've been on and be able to look back over time at how we got to where we got to, and to better understand the evolution that we're undertaking as an organization. So to that end, I'd like you to use the tool that's available via D2L to in point form or jot notes, storyboard your pitch. Then I'd like you to try to get that posted by February 9th. The timing this week is important in order to support your critical friends and to receive the feedback that you need to make your work better. So I'm going to ask for people to post their draft plan for their pitch using the storyboard tool to D2L by February the 9th, and then have our critical friends be able to provide critique between then and the 12th. If you don't get your storyboard posted by the 9th, it's unlikely that you're going to receive that feedback. Similarly, if you don't provide feedback to your critical friends between the window that we're suggesting, they're going to move forward with recording their pitch, and your feedback will no longer be useful. So the timing here is something that is going to be related to your engagement in learning task 1, because I really believe in a critique and revision process and scaffolding that, and I really hope that you can support each other to grow and improve your work through this format. And so those of you that may be behind with other elements of your engagement in D2L up until now will want to make an effort to be aligned in our timing this week, particularly with these tasks, to allow for the critique and revision process to really work out. As per usual, I don't have a great sense of what you need unless you put that forward and ask me. So please don't hesitate to inquire if there's things that are unclear. And I hope you have a fun opportunity to take some action in your context. And we really all, I hope, look forward to hearing how that turns out for you and the stakeholders that you engage. Talk to you soon.